Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're boarding passengers seated in zones E and F at this time. Your zone number has been indicated in the middle.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome back my co-host, Lee Harris. How are you?
Oh, very good. Thank you, Ria. Not too bad at all. Slightly different day today. That's due to me again. I do apologize. But yeah, no, all good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we are not going to have the air turbulence information tomorrow once again due to Lee. But we will have it next week, according to Lee.
You've just thrown me under the bus, but that is true. Yeah, I do apologize, but it will be with everybody next week. So plenty of time for the FLIBS, the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, for anybody who's traveling transatlantic. We will make sure we have that information to you before then.
And so you said it's come out of your mouth this time.
It has come out of my mouth, so I've got to stick by it. So 100%, it will be here next week, I promise.
All right, quit.
This could be the last show. No, it won't be. Definitely be, I promise.
Of course, what is on everybody's mind right now, speaking about the Fort Lauderdale show, is the hurricane that is quickly approaching the Florida coast. How is that affecting air travel?
Yeah, so the Sunshine State is on high alert. That's because Hurricane Milton rapidly intensified to a Category 5 storm yesterday. From Tampa to Orlando and West Palm Beach to Miami, the state's major airports are closely monitoring the storm. Forecast models predict that Milton could make a direct landfall over Tampa Bay. Now, due to the severity, officials reportedly say preparations are taken much more seriously than they were for the last Hurricane Helene, which impacted the region late last month. Tampa International Airport will suspend operations from today, Tuesday at 9 a.m. The Hillsborough County Aviation Authority will also close the nearby Peter O'Knight Airport, Tampa Executive Airport, and Plant City Airport on Tuesday. Now, Miami International Airport, Fort Lauderdale International Airport, and Palm Beach Airport are expected to remain open, but this is subject to change at the very last minute. Orlando International Airport is meeting with local officials today to determine whether a closure is necessary for them. For any crew obviously traveling to, through, or from the east coast of the USA, please stay in regular contact with your airline or travel provider to get up-to-date news on the status of your flights.
My heart goes out to the people of Florida because, by all accounts and purposes, the tail or the cone of this hurricane is actually reaching all the way as far as Germany, and that's unheard of.
Yeah, it is. It does sound absolutely horrific, to be honest with you, and they have also put in there is a risk to life as well. So it is clearly a big hurricane that's going to hit them.
And they just 2 weeks ago were knit with that one hurricane. There were a lot of lives lost. You don't see a lot of it on the news right now, but there were a lot of lives lost and a lot of property lost. And if this one is categorized as even, 3 times the size of the last one, my heart goes out to the people in advance and stay safe.
Indeed, yeah. Hopefully people will stay safe and it's not as bad as is feared at the moment.
I just wouldn't fly to Florida.
I wouldn't be flying that way, especially this week now.
No. And British Airways has some news.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, so increasingly congested airspace and more unpredictable weather have disrupted air travel this summer for BA. That's despite heightened efforts to cut delays and cancellations. And that is according to British Airways Head of Integrated Operations, Richard Treves. He went on to say that airspace has become more congested, and that's partly because of the Ukraine war and partly because of demand, and European airspace is extremely congested. That's particularly if you're flying from the UK to Greece, Turkey, or Cyprus. Treves also went on to say weather is also becoming more unpredictable, and the weather we've seen over the summer has made it a big challenge to operate the schedule that British Airways would want to. Now, an internal email to British Airways staff from the Chief Operating Officer, René de Groot, and Chief Technical Officer, Andy Best, at the end of last week, also acknowledged what has been a difficult summer due to disruption. Now, it revealed that 42% of BA flights had been disrupted by air traffic control delays this year. That's up from 24% in 2019. Now, again, if any crew have had first-hand experience with delays with BA or any other carrier, I would be interested to hear your experiences and the steps the airlines took to accommodate you during your delays.
And Wizz Air has some news.
Yeah, they do. So thousands of bookings were affected by a system error at Wizz Air, the budget carrier has confirmed. Now, the airline took to social media site X yesterday to report a technical issue affected its booking system. As a result, passengers may have noticed changes to their bookings on the app or website or received related notifications, Wizz Air told passengers. Now, people are to disregard these changes and rest assured that they will be updated as soon as the issue is resolved. Now, the team is working diligently to fix the problem and restore the affected flights. Now, an airline spokesman has said this morning that thousands of bookings were affected, and this was a system error and no flights were disrupted. Now, any flights that appeared as cancelled for future dates should now be restored. But if any customers rebook a flight due to the system error, they can contact Wizz Air for a full refund.
Well, at least they're refunding. Some wouldn't.
Sure, it'll take a while, though.
Yeah, well, as per usual, quick to take your money.
Yep.
Real
Indeed.
slow giving it back.
Yeah, it's always the way.
Yeah, and Filipino Airlines or Philippine Airlines has some rules.
Yeah, they have, yeah. So with the Caribbean season about to start, flying has just got a little bit easier for Filipino crew. Now, free weekly non-stop flights to Manila from Seattle International Airport inaugurated on the 3rd of October. Now, from Manila, the flights will depart each Wednesday, Friday and Sunday at 23:40, arriving in Seattle 2 days later at 04:45 a.m. They return at 22:40 each Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, arriving back in Manila at 19:15 on the same day. Now, Philippine Airlines is operating its high-density Boeing 777 aircraft to Seattle, which includes 42 seats in business class and 328 seats in economy class.
What's a big plane?
It is a big plane, and hopefully it should make it easier because every year it is difficult with Filipino crew to the Caribbean. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will make a bit of a difference, not only to their travel, but also the prices that the yachts are likely to pay.
Yeah, I travel to the Caribbean. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump all the way around, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's always difficult. And airlines, unfortunately as well, airlines do capitalize on that as well. And they do like to limit the seats that they put on the flights to make sure that they're getting top price for the flights.
Shocker.
Yeah.
And JetBlue has some news.
Yeah, JetBlue Airways has become the latest airline to make changes to its in-flight catering by introducing a chilled-only menu on transatlantic flights and ending the option of hot meals. Breakfast menus will include choices such as a breakfast crate, the courgette frittata, oats, fruit, and yogurt. That's depending on the direction you're flying, eastbound or westbound. Now, lunch or dinner items will include a chicken grain bowl, tofu and noodles, pasta salad, mushrooms and lentils, and sides of fruits and vegetables. JetBlue said in a statement to The Independent that after a trial run this summer on a Dublin and Edinburgh seasonal flights, we are extending our new core menu onto our 6 transatlantic daily flights this winter. Whether it's a good idea or not, I don't know. In all honesty, when I first read it, I thought it may have had actually something to do with turbulence and not wanting to give out hot food. But I think it's actually more down to the fact that they're looking to keep their costs low. And so the airfares that they sell to people will reflect on the food that they get.
Heaven forbid that their shareholders eat anything other than caviar and champagne.
Oh, indeed.
Why would you give your customers anything warm to eat a transatlantic flight? Because
they're only going to be on the flight for 10 hours. Why would you need anything hot to eat?
Because your shareholders might have to put back a teaspoon of caviar, right? That's just wrong. You can't expect them to do that.
Yeah. That's all right. You can have your tofu and noodles. You'll be fine.
Yeah, cold tofu. Oh, I don't know. For some reason, it just, in my head, all I can think of is slimy.
It doesn't do it for me. I'm not going to lie. It's not something that I would particularly want on my transatlantic flight.
No, I'd be like taking Hot Pockets or something and ask them to pop them in the microwave.
Yeah. Put pot noodle on there and ask them if they can just top it up with hot water.
Yeah, that's it. Take your pot. If you want something warm, take your pot noodle. Yeah, that's a good idea. Everyone out there that's listening to this, next time you go JetBlue and you're doing transatlantic, everyone take pot noodles with you and ask for hot water. And then you know what's going to happen, right? The entire cabin will end up smelling like those pot noodles, and it'll be warm. So all the people that weren't in on the pot noodle idea would be like revolting.
You could sell them. Take more and you could probably sell them.
You probably could, eh?
Yeah. Sell them to the extra passengers. You'll get your airfare back.
All you have to do is just travel JetBlue for the rest of your life, wherever they go.
Easy. You'll be traveling for free with your pot noodle.
We have just come up with a business plan for
We
some
have.
monkey
There you
soul
go,
out
see?
there.
Yeah.
Oh, anything to save a buck for the big corporation out there. Come on.
Indeed. I know. Shocking, isn't it?
It is. It is. And I have to mention that if you have any questions for Lee, please do feel free to drop him a line. Of course, all the information will be below this interview when it airs. And if it's urgent, he'll answer you right away. If it's not, he'll answer it on the next show, whenever it may be.
And next week, next Monday.
Right. You say that now.
I promise. I solemnly promise to everybody who's listening, it will be next Monday.
Yeah. Or I'll do the show myself and then quit. Right. Anyway, Lee, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you for all of your updates and information.
No, thank you very much. And and I hope you feel better as well, Ria, because I know you've been under the weather.
Yes. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Thank you. You've been watching another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I have been your host. And on behalf of myself and my co-host, Lee Harris, we'll see you again next week.